Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
The elitists in both parties want the globalist trade. They don't want, as I pointed out earlier, an America First foreign policy, and they don't want an America First trade policy. Our trade imbalance is destroying our heritage, our land, our resources. And those, of course, are things like NAFTA, the transatlantic, the trans-Pacific partnerships that have been negotiated in secret by these multinational corporations that are so opposed to Donald Trump. Here's an example of how this is going to play out. Saudi land purchases fuel debate over U.S. water rights. This is a story from the AP, and they're talking about how Saudi Arabia is buying massive amounts of water in areas where there are no restrictions on well pumping, for example, in Vicksburg, Arizona, as well as in California, where they can go to the Palo Verde Valley and get dibs on water that is flowing down to California, further downstate. And of course, we have massive drought conditions that are a regular issue in California. The area that they've chosen in California is the Palo Verde Valley. Now, this goes back to the gold rush era doctrine, the mining laws that were there, where they said if you stake a claim to the Colorado River, this goes back to 1877, where you stake the claim gives you superior rights to the people who are downstream. So they can go to that area, and that gives them first in time, first in rights that governs the 1,450-mile waterway. So they can get the water before it flows to Southern California. And of course, they paid $31.5 million for 1,800 acres in January after buying about 2,000 acres there last year. This is the way it's going to play out, folks. This is where the foreign multinationals are going to come in here, as well as foreign countries, and cash in the dollars that they've been collecting from us as we buy the trinkets from China that are made in China, as well as the oil from Saudi Arabia. Look at what China is doing here in a massive bid to take over this hotel chain. They have upped the bid to $15 billion for Starwood. Now, this is the Starwood Hotels chain. They're in competition with Marriott International. Marriott would be the largest hotel corporation in the world, yet this is a Chinese insurance company coming after this mainly because they've got so many American dollars that they want to get rid of. It is fire sale going on here in the United States. That's the massive imbalance of trade and the way it's going to work its way out. We have lost our income and we are selling the wealth in this country, and now they are coming to buy up our assets. But it's not just there. We also have Obama, with a stroke of a pen, taking hundreds of millions of acres of land and water. What he is doing is using a long-forgotten law, the 1916 Antiquities Act, and saying that massive amounts of America fall under the Antiquities Act, saying that they're monuments. Just a couple of weeks ago, Obama designated 3 new, quote-unquote, monuments in California. The addition of 3 new monuments brings the amount of federally protected acreage added through an executive action by Obama to more than 265 million acres of land and water. Obama has brought more acres of land and water under federal protection than any previous administration in U.S. history. And of course, he's not buying it. He's just bringing it into federal control with a stroke of a pen. And what he's doing is he's appealing to an act from 1906, the Antiquities Act. The purpose of the act was to protect Indian relics. And what he's doing is bringing in millions of acres of land. It has absolutely nothing to do with protecting Indian relics. But they're working with the Indian tribes here and in Utah to say, if we bring this in, we will let you manage it for us. And many of the Indians are falling for that. They need to take a look at what has happened in Arizona. There in the Tonto National Monument, which is a kind of national park, that is the area that is being given to a foreign multinational corporation by John McCain, taking away an area that does have historical significance to the Apache Indians, as well as religious significance to them. It is also an area where there are surface rights that are being used by other people, as well as recreational rights. That is going to be turned into a massive pit for a foreign copper company. That's the way this is going to roll out. Think this kind of confiscation won't affect you? Well, understand that property rights go across all types of property. And it's the principle that is the issue. Now, when we come back, Leanne McAdoo is going to join us, and she's going to talk about this in a way that maybe even millennials who don't own any property can understand. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The Federal Reserve is a private banking cartel.
The Fed is a sometimes very independent organization.
What should be the proper relationship between a chairman of the Fed and a president of the United States?
The Federal Reserve is an independent agency. There is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take.
They print our money and then loan it to us at interest. The IRS is their collection agency.
So long as that is in place and there is no evidence that the administration or the Congress or anybody else is requesting that we do things other than what we think is the appropriate thing, then what the relationships are don't frankly matter.
Jeff Duncan says he saw IRS special agents using semi-automatic rifles at a gun range. Now he wants answers to why the agency needs that type of firepower.
Is this global governance at last? Is it one world, the central bankers in charge?
Know your history, and you will know your enemy. Infowars.com.
I'm not gonna sit here and take it anymore.
Clean, pure drinking water. You can't survive without it. But where do you get it? Alexa Pure Pro is a brand new, groundbreaking, gravity-fed water filtration system that is like no other. The Alexa Pure Pro transforms water from virtually any fresh source into clean, healthy drinking water, pairing the unprecedented superfiltration power of an all-new gravity block core with a hybrid chromatic shell. It removes up to 99.999% of impurities, including bacteria, viruses, fluoride, disinfectants, volatile organic contaminants, and hormones. Filter capacity up to 5,000 gallons. Stainless steel construction, easy assembly, low maintenance. Replacement filters are simple to install. And now, as part of an exclusive limited time introductory offer, you can save $20 off the retail price and get free shipping. This is a limited time offer, so order your unit today and receive free shipping and $20 off. Go to InfoWarsStore.com or call 888-253-3139.